You're listening to Dunestone Redemption, a podcast featuring three idiots talking about movies that probably no one will ever listen to. The format is simple. Each idiot gets to pick a movie and make the other two watch it. Then we get together and give our opinions on said films. And unless you're Peter Dinklage, we don't allow guests, but we do value your feedback. So drop us a message at dunestoneredemption.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and we're on YouTube now, and Stitcher, and iTunes.
Everywhere.
We're out there. For us, you'll find us.
That's right.
You know why I picked Peter Dinklage?
Because of Game of Thrones?
Because he died in Game of Thrones.
How fun is that game? Peter, or that name, Peter Dinklage.
I'm like, I don't drink, but if I would drink, I'd want to get drunk with him. Speaking of that, can I use 2 minutes to do a quick PSA?
Yeah, let's do a
So,
service announcement.
April is National Organ Donor Awareness Month. Yeah. So if you're out there listening and you're thinking, hey, I'd like to be an organ donor, sign up. Someone anonymously did that, and that's the reason I'm here today doing this awesome podcast with two of the best people in the world. So if you're thinking about it, definitely sign up. Go online. You can find it, and I'll get off my soapbox now.
Perfect.
That's all I got. And I'll get off my soapbox now.
Perfect.
That's all I got.
I like that.
So keep Othie alive.
Yeah.
And others too.
And lots of
you've already taken too many other people's
That's-
organs.
yeah, I'm
you're
cashed out.
You're out.
I'm lucky enough.
Okay.
Bingo bongo.
So we got 3 movies to review. Where are we going to start tonight?
Because I just feel bad and want to get it over with. Because my pick was horrible.
All right, so let's talk about
So
it.
my pick was Triple Frontier. And I picked it alone because, one, it's on Netflix, so I like that. But also the cast was just huge. I mean, you got heavy hitters like Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, Charlie Hunnam, Black, Oscar Isaac, Charlie
Hunnam,
Pedro, Garrett Hendel, I don't know. Just tons of good actors anyway.
Guys' faces that you know. It's
hey!
He's been in everything. But sometimes that's not a recipe for success, and this is what happened here. And Marines and Army guys that kind of go rogue because the government screwed them, and it was just not a good movie. I mean, start to finish. My main problem was with Ben Affleck. And that kid can act. If you've seen Gone Girl, if you've seen the first Batman, The Town, he's a badass, and I didn't believe him.
Good Will Hunting.
He's a badass, and I didn't believe him.
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, come on.
I just didn't believe him at all in this movie, and a couple of they phoned this one in. I think Netflix, is it becoming the straight to DVD? Because that's what I felt this was.
It's certainly. I feel like it is. I think it's coming straight to DVD or Netflix.
Right.
So tell me what you.
They find the money in the house, what they're looking for, and
Spoiler.
Yes, spoiler. And they're no longer with the army, but yet Ben keeps wanting to go for more money, and they know they're against the clock on this because the people are coming back to raid the house. Why not just be like, no, you're an idiot, let's get in. There's no chain of command here. We're not with the government. Let's get out of here. Out. My other problem was, do you know how many times they said the word Andes in this movie?
Andes, like the mountains?
The mountains.
Okay.
It's like, oh, we got to go over the mountains. I got to go over the Andes. Is this chopper going to go over the Andes? Where are the Andes at? Wake me up when we get to the Andes. It was comical.
Weird.
They said that so many times. Like, you knew something was going to happen because they said that word.
A little pre-shadowing.
I didn't catch it.
Oh, it was bad. I'm like, what are they talking about? And the chopper goes down and all hell breaks loose. But this was just a bad pick. This is my least favorite pick that I've made yet. And I picked Heredity last month. So I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. Even if you're searching for Netflix, totally skip this and be fine. Even Oscar Isaac phoned this in. This was just bad acting. It was bad. So that's my review of it. I will go as low as a Bob Saget on it. That's pretty bad.
Saget.
Yeah, not good. Sorry for this pick, boys.
All right, you want me to go next?
Go for it.
All right. So, go next?
Go for it.
All right. So, this it has a 6.5 IMDb rating and 58% on the Rotten Tomatoes. So, this is the same guy that produced The Hurt Locker. This is the same guy that produced The Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30.
Did not know that.
So, you talk about these movies that Hurt Locker won the Academy Award, correct?
Yes.
For Best Film.
Best film ever.
She, director, I know she won for that.
And I didn't really care for that movie.
Yeah.
Shocking, right?
Made another great film that I hated.
So as I kind of read through some other reviews on this, the resounding opinion on it was, "Oh man, this movie really had potential."
Right, lots of potential.
And I would say that in the first 15 minutes of the movie, the build up, I'm like, this is good. This has got potential to really go places. But what's different about this and The Hurt Locker is The Hurt Locker really puts you into the life of that soldier and the mind of that soldier. This movie, it's a bunch you shouldn't do as a Marine or as an Army person. Tactically, it was ridiculous.
Yes.
I mean, think about, spoiler alert, when Affleck gets shot and killed. I mean, you're right out in the open where this guy could sneak up right behind you and shoot you.
Yep.
I mean, it was stupid. And now nature looks like, because I don't go there. But I'm watching this and I'm going, what are these guys doing?
Why not hide all those bags and come back for it later, earlier than what they did at the end? Where they kind of did that, and they got the coordinates, but why not do that after you get
somewhere? But why did you end this movie on a bummer note and
show them doing that?
Instead of giving the guy's family $5 million, you go, man, we just walked out here with $750 million, we're going to take care of them. You know, it was like you had to end on this big heroic moment that never really got to the point. So, like I said, I question their decision making. How do you helicopter that is not rated to do what you need it to do?
Well, and where's the greed come into effect? Where dump some of that money.
Yeah, they took way too much money.
I get it, but
they took on way too much weight.
Yeah.
Don't those helicopters lift tanks?
Yeah. So my question to you guys is, go ahead.
Tanks.
Yeah. So my question to you guys is, go ahead and give it a rating. There.
I gave it a 4, which is a Bob Saget 2.
Bob Saget.
The memorable scene to me was helicopter crash and the mess that it was. I just wrote a note here that I didn't catch on by that time in the movie. I say that this is the same problem as every FBI or soldier story that I watch. And it's that it is just simply people who are trained to do a certain job doing it completely piss poor.
Right.
And that's what causes the drama.
So there's always that one thing that... Right.
And that's what causes the drama.
So there's always that one thing that goes wrong, and that's what spirals it. And if Ben was just bugged out sooner, they're home free.
And it's usually something you could have prevented.
Yeah.
And he was the one who didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to do it. I liked him when he didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Once they got in there, man, he wanted that money.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He wanted that money real bad. Really get a big sense of camaraderie with any of these
No.
guys. I think that off screen they were not gelling as an ensemble cast.
Right.
Either.
Too many big egos, maybe?
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of times you'll see those films where things are coming out and they go to all the different news outlets and they've got all these inside jokes and stuff like that. I saw them on like Good Morning America once.
Yep.
Yeah.
For this, and that's it.
And 5 huge actors you think they'd be out there promoting.
They would be going around and talking about how good of buddies they all are, and how any one of them would desperately love to do something with Marvel.
Yeah.
Because it's like none of them are Marvel.
No.
Whatsoever. My big problem with this film was the same problem you guys have. The acting was so-so, but the plot was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
The whole ending piece where they're on the beach and driving around and they're like, oh, he's in a boat now, so we can't get him.
Can't get him.
Wait a minute, you know what? That boat's been there the whole time.
Right.
Why did that stop there?
It was just really... It was goofy.
You're safe when you get to water.
Yeah,
that's like base.
That's true.
That's base. You can't tag
them. Water was
them.
lava. They couldn't go in.
Couldn't go that
They
far.
called it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just was kind of. It had a lot of good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we call the water's lava. You can't go in.
Can't go in that.
They had really good. Yeah, we call the water's lava. You can't go in.
Can't go in that.
They had really good elements.
Yeah.
That they were missing seasoning. Something was missing here. If you ever put a Lego set together and you're missing like the hinge piece, that middle piece,
that piece that turns, or
the one that everything sits
Goes
on, that
to.
one flat middle piece. For some reason, that was gone. Everything sits on that one flat middle piece. For some reason, that was gone.
And Affleck was not that piece.
And
No.
I think the story
was that piece.
Right.
You got the
So
ensemble.
they had the actors. They had the budget. I mean, it was a pretty slick looking film. Obviously, they spent some money to make it.
What was your favorite scene? Do you have one?
When they were in the house and getting the money out of the walls and stuff was probably about the only scene I really even remember from it.
Yeah, that was memorable because it was
so much money.
It was so full. It was like there was money everywhere and it looked real.
Mm-hmm. I think mine was when they're in the trailer talking. If you turn back now, or we're headstrong once we leave this trailer.
Yeah.
And they were kind of amping up, leave this trailer.
Yeah.
And they were kind of amping up for it. And Ben, he acted in that scene. Like, he gave that speech, and you're like, okay, let's do this. But, yeah. What's your rating?
Oh, I'm going to give it that Patrick.
Robert Patrick.
Oh, wow. Okay, so like a...
Yeah.
So we got 2 4s and a 3.
I didn't even give it a sag it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
This movie can sag it.
Fair enough. This is that bad.
All right. What's our next film you want to go through?
Let's do Sisters Brothers.
All right. Sisters Brothers was my pick. It is a movie that starred John C. Reilly and the Joaquin Phoenix, Jake Gyllenhaal. And if you haven't checked it out, it's a modern. I say a modern Western. I don't know what makes it modern other than it's modern people doing it, right? So the story's about 1850. So the story's about an 1850s Oregon gold rush, and the Sisters Brothers are like this infamous. What's the word I'm looking for? Bounty hunters. Assassins? Yeah, assassins. The opening scene, it was obvious that the character traits set the tone. Remember when they're in they're sitting out there getting those guys, and you're going to die. You know, if you don't come out. The memorable pieces for me is that barn scene, the dinner scene in San Francisco. Remember when they're sitting there so nice and they just can't seem to keep it together?
Nope.
It's much like I would describe any kind of business relationship I'd get into with my brother. That nothing would be, we would not see eye to eye on anything. We would be completely different directions. I did read that this movie was based on a book, and I guess that kind of there's probably more to the story and the development of the characters that we didn't see. I personally, though, I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the piece about the gold rush, about the chemistry. I wish that they'd got a little bit more into that and talk about, it's the secret formula. And we saw an appearance of Rutger Hauer. The last time you seen Rutger Hauer was when?
Yeah, I don't know. He played some kind of character that had an eye patch and he was like a ninja or something.
And I did read that...
That may have been 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's...
Why am I not thinking who that is?
Rutger Hauer. He's from the original Blade Runner. He's the main bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the main...
Oh, he was in this?
Yeah.
He was the Commodore.
He was the Commodore.
And in fact, I read today that he has 0 speaking lines in the movie, and I didn't realize that until I read it.
Did he have parts that were cut out, or did he just have no?
I'm not sure.
Was he scripted for no lines? Scripted for no lines. Why show up? Scripted for no lines. Why show up?
Yeah, I don't know.
Paycheck, I guess.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite scenes is when they go in and to his funeral
to kill the Commodore,
and he's dead.
He throws,
and then he slaps the shit out of him in the casket. That's the second movie that I've recommended that a dead person has got slapped. Okay, it made me laugh out loud. As far as the story goes, I saw no other way for the story arc of Charlie to not end in him dying other than what happened to him. Losing the arm changed his life other than what happened to him. Losing the arm changed his life. And it was a surprise to me that I thought for sure he was going to die. Yeah. The way he was going hardcore to everything all the time. So I enjoyed this movie. I thought that John C. Reilly carried it.
Yes, he did.
And I thought he was really good. I'm giving this movie a 7, which is a Robert Downey Jr. I liked it a lot. So your guys' opinion.
You want me to go?
Go.
Okay, I'll go. I enjoyed this movie, but I didn't know what it was trying to be. Was it trying to be a Western? It was a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But it worked. This movie, it takes a bit of time to focus on the story. It wants to tell you with the characters, but when it gets there, it's definitely worth it. It's a slow burn that actually pays off. After seeing this movie and seeing, I think it was called I Was Never Really There, I'm very excited to see I'm very excited to see Joaquin as the Joker.
Yeah.
That's got me.
I didn't know you watched that. Yeah, never really there.
And he was insane in that.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
that was great.
He's the Hammer guy.
Yeah,
he's the Hammer guy.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
He's gonna. I think he'll kill it as a Joker. But to me, John C. Reilly stole every scene he was in.
Absolutely.
And the bad thing was, if you watch, there's a scene where they get the letter that they'd already left the hotel. He's got horrible lines in that, but he's just got the best timing. He plays that dumb, lovable goofball, and I just loved him in this. My favorite part was after the dinner scene. They stormed off in the fancy dinner because they got in the fight. And the next morning, he's leaving. He's like, "Why are you leaving?" It's like, "Because you slapped me." He's like, "Well, slap me back." "I'm not going to slap you back. I'm not going to do that." Then he does slap him back. He's like, "I didn't hit you that hard." You do remember. That's what my sister and I would do the same thing. So you saying about the brother going into business, that's how my sister and I would be like, "You do remember hitting me." Yeah. He did. And I just cracked up. And I just cracked up. I'm like, that's totally a sibling thing. So if you've got a sibling, that scene's so true. But the actor named Riz Ahmed, am I saying that
right? That's right, Riz Ahmed.
That guy, he is really good.
He is really good in this.
I felt so bad for him because when he's dying, and I knew that going to script the whole thing with the gold. I'm like, someone is going to take this the wrong way, and it pissed me off because I was like, this is so great.
Right.
But I love this. Is one of those nice little gems.
Did you see a relationship between Jake Gyllenhaal and him, like a homosexual relationship?
In the beginning,
possible?
I thought so.
I did too. I was going, is that what they're going to do?
That's kind of what I thought
it
too.
Didn't. It was just
into each other. I thought that was kind of weird.
But it was more like, I think they played it more like he became a cult member of this guy is what they were going for. Well, you just realize he just believed in what the guy was doing.
Yeah.
So
that was interesting. But I had a 7 here, so an RDJ as well for me.
So it's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
For you? Yeah. I liked it. However, we're doing this. This was my favorite one. Diane hated it. My wife hated it.
How far into it before she fell asleep?
No, she watched the whole thing.
Okay.
Surprising. Now, maybe at some point, right before the tar and the creek stuff happened, I think she fell asleep, but I woke her up for that. So, my thing with this, I feel like the first 10, 15 minutes of this film could be thrown away.
Okay.
The barn burning and all that.
Yeah, because they could ride in, and very subtly you could tell the story that these guys are, because it was kind of really slapsticky at first. It's going to be kind of a comedy.
And that's how the trailer kind of looks too.
Yeah, and it looks kind of funny on the trailer and stuff, but that's not the film that you get at all.
You absolutely had some funny scenes and some dialogue that was really funny, but yeah, it's not a...
Oh, yeah.
That spider.
But they could have taken the first 15 minutes of this film and thrown it away and just introduced those guys on the chase. And you would get to know real quick that Joaquin is on the edge, and
he's an alcoholic drunk.
Reilly is not. He's
the straight man.
Yeah, he's a lot more level-headed. Yeah, and so it gets a lot less slapsticky. And when they finally get to their prey, these guys that they're going after, I think that Riz was showing that these guys can be a different way. Mm-hmm. He was opening their eyes and Gyllenhaal to, you can be a different person. You can let go of this. Macho-ness and this hardness that you think you have to have as a shell to protect yourself from the world. And that's what you saw with those guys. It wasn't homosexual tension.
Right.
It was just guys
just being
opening up to each other.
Right.
Speaking to each other. And he was like, "What were you guys talking about?" And I was like, that was something that
Why are you talking about that?
Yeah, they had never done anything like that before. They'd never had an intellectual conversation with anyone in their entire lives. And so I think you were really going to start to see these guys change. And then Joaquin Phoenix
just
loses his goddamn mind. And screws the whole damn thing up. And they take his arm off. And John C. Reilly has the thing up, and they take his arm off, and John C. Reilly has to become hardened and kill every freaking person they send.
That scene was fantastic,
and then somehow ends up like happy.
Yeah.
But these two, there wasn't a thing they couldn't get out with a gunfight. These two were the baddest
They were bad.
Well,
Yeah.
and in the end, it was just John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
You got to see how much of, like, he really, so, yeah.
And the mother in this, at the end, they slipped in Carole King as the mother of the boys, and it was like, oh, hey, there she is.
Yeah, it's like, what do you guys want?
Uh-huh.
They're like, well, we just came to see you.
No, that can't be right.
Yeah, that can't
Get out
be
of
right.
here.
Are you on the run? No. Our lives have actually kind of straightened out. So, yeah, it was just this big... I think that was kind of some of the stuff that it was telling you, is that you don't have to carry this macho ideal. So they took the Clint Eastwood, out of the picture. The macho Western guy. I thought it was really good. I'm gonna go with a Robert Duvall.
Really?
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna put an 8 on this thing.
What was your have one?
Oh my gosh, there was a lot of I did like the slap scene. That was definitely true. But no, I think the dead horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When John C. Reilly's horses died.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
Set him.
Well, that's what opened him. He was like, oh, by the way, my horse died.
Yeah.
That's what he was upset about. So I just thought it was a good movie.
Yeah.
I like the
Really
parts
good movie.
about him.
How did it get nothing?
Nothing.
Never
Yeah.
saw this in theaters. You and I watched this trailer when you were in my office. That
Yeah,
one.
it got no
we were like, what is this?
fanfare,
Right.
Nobody liked
But it's
it.
on a lot of people's lists for 2018.
Yeah.
On a lot of people's lists for 2018.
Yeah, it was up there.
The scene, one of the scenes that I kept coming back to was when he was buying the toothbrush.
Yeah.
And didn't want his
Didn't
brother to
know.
see that he is buying a toothbrush. How more sensitive could he be than to actually want to brush his teeth?
And I love it that Gyllenhaal
comes.
Hey, look at us, sophisticated gentlemen, willing to take care of our dental needs.
When they
Next, they'll have mustache wax,
yeah.
right?
When they killed that lady and they're trying to tell the town, they're like, well, good news, you can rename your town instead of Mayfield. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's some good
Name
comedy
your
in
town
that.
something besides Mayfield.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I think people.
There's some good
Name your town
comedy in
something
that.
Besides Mayfield.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I think people
Should check this out.
I think people were avoiding it because they thought it was just going to be a slapsticky western.
And it is
It's
definitely
totally
not
what it
that.
was.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out Sisters Brothers. All right.
Yeah, we like that one.
All right, Russell, Wildlife, what do you think?
Okay, so go out on a limb here and think that maybe you guys did not enjoy this film. But I'm going to throw out
Hey, don't tell our reviews for us, okay?
Well, hey, just in case. I mean, on the off chance you guys didn't like this film. And I'm going to say I think this film is for people whose parents got divorced when they were 10, 12 years old. You know what I mean? Because
Fair statement.
There are so many scenes in that film that I kind of recognize from my own life.
You need to go last because when I blast this movie, I'm going to feel terrible.
I know, but the character of the boy. Okay, let me just give you guys a brief synopsis. This is a family that moves to Montana. Jake Gyllenhaal is the dad. He's in every film ever made last year. He's the dad. The lady who was married to
Carey Mulligan?
Heath Ledger. Wasn't she married to Heath Ledger?
I don't know.
No.
I don't
That's
think
a different
so.
lady.
I don't think they were
I don't
married.
think so.
I could be wrong, though. I don't know.
Were they together?
They've been in movies together.
Okay, so let's just start this recap again.
Okay.
Okay, so Jake Gyllenhaal and this lady, it's a family. They move to Montana. He's going to be working someplace. He instantly gets fired from there. He instantly gets fired from there. He needs something to do, so he goes and joins these wildlife firefighters. These, back deep in the forest firefighters. The wife hasn't been happy for a long time, so she starts kind of building her life without him. She's already gone past at this point. I mean, she's already gone, whether they're together or not. And so you have this just open-mouthed idiot son that just does not know when to leave the room. More than anything. So I picked this film because they hated it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there was no middle of the road. People gave this 9 out of 10 or they gave it 1 out of 10. And that's what they were saying is, these parents were such terrible parents and things like that. Well, it's like, what do you do with the kid?
Right.
Do you neglect the kid? You got to have the kid around. The kid's going to see what's going on. You can't hide everything from your life. And I just recognized a lot of those scenes from my own life, but they needed to tell it from like the boy watching from another room instead of the boy sitting there on screen the whole. Just trying to get a reaction, look at him to see if he was going to react to the scene, and he never did because he didn't know what to do. So it's an interesting film. Paul Dano directed it. That guy is a great actor. Everything I've ever seen him in, There Will Be Blood. He got his milkshake drink in that film.
I drank your milkshake.
Yeah, so he's a great actor. Something probably about this really touched his life, and so maybe that's why he made this film. And my favorite author is a guy named Larry Watson. And he makes books, kind of coming-of-age books, and a lot of them take place in Montana. Is
this his book?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I didn't see in there that where his name was attached to it.
There was an author attached to it, but that is not what I remember.
It wasn't Larry Watson, and I was like, man, this really sounds like a Larry Watson book to me as I was watching it. But, I mean, it had some miscues. It had some missteps. And it was painful to watch. I mean, I don't know. But, so I liked it.
Okay.
Because it resonated with some things in my childhood.
Okay.
But it's very specific. So if you're not around that,
right.
if you didn't grow up in that, if you're not around that,
right.
if you didn't grow up in that type of household, then it's going to just seem totally bizarre. Like, what are these people doing?
What would you review?
Oh, I'll probably give it I don't know. I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a Hoskins.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm betting that's the go next, sir.
Yeah, I'll go because it'll be very quick, and it's like you read my review. I didn't enjoy this. What I have down here is it's a very emotional movie, and Carey Mulligan. Before I give my review, actually, Michelle Williams was married to Heath Ledger, who looks a lot like these two. Look doppelgangers in my opinion. So you're right.
Why?
But Carey Mulligan, she steals every scene that look doppelgangers in my opinion. So you're right.
Why?
But Carey Mulligan, she steals every scene that she's in. I did feel this movie was very slow, but it wasn't a slow burn that paid off. But I didn't see Jake Gyllenhaal going crazy at the end like that. That kind of threw me off a little bit. Anyway. But I felt this movie was every bit through the kid's eyes, and maybe since I didn't...
They just did not develop him as a character at all.
Since I didn't care about him, I felt like I didn't care about what was going on with the parents and him.
Yeah, I mean, one scene maybe where he's talking to a buddy or where he does something he's not supposed to do and gets in trouble and feels... I mean, they just didn't develop his character at all.
Yeah.
He was just literally a sounding board for these actors.
He really was, and I don't understand how she went so quickly from him going to do the wildfire stuff and whatever. She's going to do some swimming lessons, and I don't know. It doesn't seem like there was that build-up of the attraction for this guy other than money, for her to be like, okay, well, he's got good money because he's got, what was it, a dealership? A car dealership? I can't remember now.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Anyway.
No, real estate.
Real estate, thank you.
Sorry.
But, I don't know. It leaves you to think that she was just after the monetary, didn't care about the kid or the dad at all, and I didn't like that, but I don't know. I didn't see the fire coming at the end or the attempt at and that threw me off. My favorite part of the movie, my favorite scene, was when he was actually a pro golfer there in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is going to be great. He's
when he got fired for nothing, too. That whole interaction, I was like, this is a talented guy that people like.
Well, he got fired for gambling with the
That's true.
But the patrons were standing up for him.
And for gambling with the
That's true.
But the patrons were standing up for him.
And, but it seems like there was a little bit you could read in there. It seems like this wasn't the first time.
Gotcha.
He'd been fired for that.
Yeah.
So like they moved up there and it was the same old shit that he was pulling up there, and I don't know. Pulling up there, and I don't know.
Well, that's my favorite scene,
character.
And I would give him a Schneider, which is a 2 out of 10.
Yeah,
maybe it's because Dave and Friday still have a good relationship. I just can relate, and get into it.
All right, well, Dennis and Linda Schaefer have a good relationship. IMDb 6.9, 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. I cannot believe this got that much. I understand where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. I get it, but I really struggled with this movie. First of all, I said Carey Mulligan is 33 years old. She looked like... I thought she looked super old.
Yeah.
I thought she looked super old. 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 I thought she looked super I don't want to say that the
I wonder
movie.
if that was just the hairstyles.
I don't
and
know.
dresses and stuff like
Her
that.
skin looked. I don't know. I didn't want to say that this movie was boring, so I got the thesaurus out, and here are some synonyms: moth, insipid, or bummer. Those are the words I would
Bummer
use to
for
describe
sure.
this. So this is based off of a book by a guy named Richard Ford or Dick Ford.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I drove a Dick Ford. That was the first type of car I had. Well, I could see where this story as a book would work, because you hear the innermost thoughts of the character, the son, how he feels, how he's approaching these situations, how he feels when he's staring out the door and sees the fat man's ass walking down his hallway.
I did forget.
All of that. I wanted to hear when he went into that man's room and saw the condom that was foretelling of what was going to happen. There was a moment in the movie where I didn't understand. It's like the father leaves, immediately she becomes a whore.
Right.
I mean, almost immediately.
Well,
now, hold on a second.
Swimming lessons.
Does
This
not
guy's got some money.
Necessarily use that term.
Well, I'm using the word whore.
I won't say she was a whore, but her actions and mannerisms were very whorish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys did pick up on the fact that he abandoned them.
He took off.
But you guys did pick up on the fact that he abandoned them.
He took off.
I understand that 100%.
left.
But
And
you're
so
talking
she was
how much time has gone by, and I don't think that bad behavior of one parent begets the bad behavior of the other. And almost immediately, I mean, he's not gone for more than 3 months. And so what I don't understand is if, I don't think she was after money. This guy had money, but she didn't make the play for the money.
No. Well, one of the telling scenes in there is when Gyllenhaal starts to burn the porch down.
Right.
Some other lady comes running out of the
Exactly.
house with that guy. This guy was a womanizer.
Right.
In the house
Exactly.
with that guy. This guy was a womanizer.
Right.
And he saw a young lady who was recently abandoned by her husband, and he's going to come around and throw some money around and take her out to dinner. She was not in love with him.
But
None of that part was she in love
do
with
you
him
think
or
that
anything
she
like
was after him for the money?
paying attention to her.
That's what I'm saying.
So you don't think it's my either?
Because she was
didn't
not going to move in with him
Nope.
or anything. She wanted to get an apartment by herself. She was trying to figure out how she wants to live her life.
Exactly.
But, some nice guy wants to take you out to dinner or something like that too. He's got a little bit of sophistication.
I agree.
He was definitely,
And he actually did the right thing. It didn't hurt Gyllenhaal's character when he could have at the end.
And to me,
But-
I liked that too because I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, people are complicated.
Yeah, agreed.
And this movie was about very complicated
Lots of
characters.
complications. Yeah.
Very
Now,
complicated
have you ever
characters.
been to Montana?
I don't think that I have.
I really expected to see very pretty scenery in this. Even the scene where the fire's up on the hill wasn't shot well, in my opinion.
Do you think it was really shot in Montana?
But
I suspect it was shot somewhere in California.
I don't care
or
where it was
Canada.
shot. If it's supposed to be Montana,
Make me feel Montana.
make me feel
Yeah.
and beautiful. And I read
But
some
maybe not all of
reviews.
Montana's beautiful.
But I read some reviews about how beautiful the scenery was, and I'm
Yeah.
calling bull on that. It is not beautiful.
It was not a beautiful time of the year up there, I don't think.
Right.
That's too far north for my ass anyway, so I don't
Yeah.
care.
So I also gave the movie a Schneider a 2.
Yep.
And I also gave the movie a Schneider a 2.
Yep.
And I think I'm being very generous on this.
So that's what I thought, because I was going to go with the Pattinson.
do it.
Like,
Yeah, I gave it. I gave it that.
Paul Dano, we apologize.
Yeah, I don't. Get the movie that has a point, and I will watch it.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. Get the movie that has a point, and I will watch it.
Yeah.
The best part of this movie is the guy's name's Dick Ford. So that's.
The Dick Ford Band.
So that's our movie reviews. Let's talk about what we are going to watch next month.
Yes.
Okay, who's having a hard time?
I've
narrowing
picked mine.
down?
So mine is going to be The Mule, which is the Clint Eastwood directed and starred in movie where he obviously plays a mule for the cartel. I'm not exactly sure what's going on based on the trailers, but it's gotten pretty good reviews.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this one.
Good cast. Bradley Cooper.
Oh, really? I didn't know he was in
Cooper's
this.
I think those two are buddies ever since Cooper.
Oh, really? I didn't know he was in
Cooper's
this.
I think those two are buddies ever since American Sniper. Or no. Yeah, that was Clint Eastwood's.
Yeah.
Who else is in it? There's a couple other bigger names you'll know. I can't think of the wife anymore. Anyway, The Mule's my pick for this upcoming month.
All right, my pick is The Rider. So whatever movie you pick has to start with the.
Okay.
Okay. A rodeo cowboy that is injured and has to reevaluate his life and the direction of his life.
It was on several top 10 lists of other critics last year, and a lot of them it was the number one list.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, so it's got. I've been watching that. I'm going to go with a film called Prospect.
Prospect.
It's a sci-fi film. It stars Pedro Pascal from Game of Thrones and
of the Triple Frontier.
Oh, he's in that too.
He's in that too.
Is
yeah.
he in that too? Is he one of the dudes?
Yeah, he's the helicopter
He's
pilot.
the helicopter pilot.
He always had a hat on.
What a terribly...
he was in The Equalizer too.
Film. I loved him in Narcos. Narcos is where I was like, "Real man, this guy is awesome."
Yeah.
That's where I really started liking him. So yeah, it's kind of a sci-fi mining in space thingy.
Now, is this from a website?
This one is on Amazon right now for $4.99.
So it was actually released. I'm talking like this is
this was a Sundance Film Festival film that won some awards and stuff. So it's an independently made film.
Gotcha.
Now the writer,
I don't think has been on any of that.
I should know if Netflix made it or something.
No, on any of that.
I should know if Netflix made it or something.
No, I suspect it's going to drop on Netflix or Amazon or something pretty soon.
The Rider is $12 on Amazon, so unfortunately...
We'll watch it together.
Yeah, no, we could have us a good old movie night.
I'm surprised no one picked The Highwayman. I thought we were talking about that. I thought that was going to be your pick for sure.
I heard it described as, I don't know if you said this or not, somebody said it's old man staring at a map. That's what they should have called the movie, so I don't want to see that one.
We'll tune in, I guess, next time to hear The Mule, The Rider, and Prospect. So I got that Prospect. We'll be reviewing those next month.
We call it The Prospect just so it fits in?
We can.
Doing those
next month. We call it The Prospect just so it fits in?
We can.
Perfect.
We can call the mule by its Spanish name, Los Mule.
Los Mules?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Los Rider?
Los Rider.
Okay.
Russ, where can people find us?
You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on YouTube.
Stitcher?
You can find us on Stitcher at www.dunestoneredemption.com. We tried to make that bigger, but we ran out of space.
You only get so many characters.
Because it was going to be the amazing, spectacular Dunestone Redemption.
Fantabulous.
Podcast review every month.
Yes, absolutely. And check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The Twitter is Dunestone Films, and Instagram is Dunestone Films as well. So.
Also Spotify.
Oh, we're on Spotify as well.
Yep.
So we're out there, folks. If you're looking for us and you can't find us,
but these people have already found us.
That's
on you.
Our fault anymore.
Yeah, we are out there.
Yeah, so. Also been writing lots of movies that we're not reviewing on the podcast, writing reviews.
We're up to 30.
Yeah.
30 reviews on the website.
Yeah.
And then there's something for the kids with Dunestone Jr. where me and my daughter review kid-appropriate movies.
Yeah, that's fun.
So, all right.
Okay,
thanks for listening.